Hello guys, my name is Margareth Stevany Sinurat. I'm college student from Mathematics Education Study Program 2019 at State University of Medan, and my ID number is 4193111035.
My name is Dinda Apriani Hia. My ID number 41933120003. I'm from Mathematics Education Study Program 2019 and I'm from Group 1.
Hello guys, we are from Group 1 from Mathematics Education Study Program 2019. The members of Group 1 are Dinda Apriani Hia and Margareth Stevany Sinurat. Okay, in this time I will explain about our project task experiment statistic application course analysis of hypothesis testing using SPSS program. Okay, first we will explain about chapter 1 preliminary. Background hypothesis comes from the Greek hypo means weak or less or below. Thesis means a theory proposition of statement present as evidence, so that the hypothesis can be interpreted as a statement that is still weak in the truth and needs to be proven, or an allegation that is temporary. Hypothesis can also be interpreted as a statement of the state of the population that will be staged for truth using data or information collected through sample, and can be formulated based on theories, conjectures, personal experience, or others, general impressions, conclusions that are still very temporary. A statistical hypothesis is a statement or conjecture about the state of the population that is still tentative or weak in the truth. Statistical hypothesis can be in the form of a variable such as a binomial, Poisson, and normal of the value of a parameter such as mean, variance, standard deviation, and proportion. Statistical hypotheses must be tested because they must be in the form of a quantity to be accepted or rejected. The statistical hypothesis will be accepted if the test results confirm the statement and will be rejected if there is a denial of the statement. Formulation of the problem. First, what is meant by hypothesis testing? Second, how to run hypothesis testing in the SPSS program. Third, what are the use of hypothesis testing? The purpose of this research is 1. To know the meaning of hypothesis testing. Second, to know how to run hypothesis testing in the SPSS program. Third, to know use of hypothesis testing. Benefit. 1. Can provide knowledge about hypothesis testing. 2. Can provide knowledge about using SPSS to analyze the hypothesis testing.
Next, Chapter 2 Procedure. This is our case to be analyzed. A wholesaler receives a shipment of cane cereal from a supplier. According to information received from the supplier, the average cane weight is 16 grams. The wholesaler did not immediately believe and tested 30 samples of cereal cans at random before receiving the shipment of goods in the transport box car. The following is the result of observation data for 30 samples on one day of delivery of goods. So this is our data with 30 samples and its weight on gram. Next, the steps to doing hypothesis test with the one sample t-test using the SPSS application are as follows. The first, Open your SPSS software in your laptop. Let's practice. Open the SPSS software in your laptop or PC by double-clicking on the icon. So, this is the initial view of SPSS. There are data view and variable view. The next step is do the input data by entering variables in the variable view and fill in many cases each variable in the data view. In this case, we have one variable that's berat underscore serial. With the criteria R type is numeric, Y is age, decimal is 2, and for label, we type berat underscore serial on green. And for measure, we click scale and roll, we click input. After that, we fill in the data to be analyzed based on question. We click data view, fill in the column data to be analyzed. But to shorten the time, I have typed the data that you will analyze. This is our case or our data to be analyzed. Next, click Analyze one time, then select Confirming. And then click One Sample to Test. So the display will appear. Click Berat Serial Blank variable, then click the arrow to paste it in the tester variable box. Click. After that, change the test value from 0 to 16. Next, click Options and fill 95 on the confidence interval percentage. And for missing values, we click Exclude Cases Analysis by Analysis. Click Continue, then click OK to end the process, and you will get the output data. So, this is the output data of our case. There are two tables. First, one sample statistics, and the second table is one sample test. Next, Chapter 3 Discussion. From this case, we will find out whether the results of the SPSS with the results of manual calculations are different or the same. Based on output SPSS, there are two tables. From the one sample statistics tables, we get N is 30, mean is 16.0020, and standard deviation we get 0.95990, and the value of standard error mean is 0.17525. From the one sample test, we get T is 0.0911, and the value of DF we get 29, and stick to tail we get 0.91, and for mean difference we get 0.002, and the value of 95% confidence interval of the difference, we get the lower value is minus 0.3564, and the upper value is 0.3604. Next, for manual calculation, we have two hypotheses. Hypothesis 0 means the average cane weight is 16 grams. For hypothesis alternative means the average cane weight isn't 16 grams. And we have statistic hypothesis 2. Next, for test statistics, we know that there are 30 samples with the sum of blood cereal or weight is 480.06. Yeah, we get the value of mean with the formula mean equals sum xi over n equal 480.06 over 30, and the value of mean is 16,020. For standard deviation, we use the formula s equal the root of n multiply sum x square minus sum xi square over n multiply n minus 1. We calculate, we get the value of standard deviation is 0.95990. And for t-cone, we use the formula x minus mu 0 over s over the root of n. We calculate of t-cone, we get the value of t-cone equals 0.011. Next, we find the value of t-table. From this table, we can find the value of t-table with this criteria for significant level or alpha equal 1 minus 0.95 equal 0.05. For df equal n minus 1 equal 30 minus 1 equal 29. For this criteria, we get the value of t-table is 1.699. We get the value of t-table from this, with the value of df is 29. With significant level, we use 0.05. So the value of t-table, we get 1.699. Next, decision rule. If t-cone is less than t-table, means hypothesis 0 is accepted. But if t-cone is bigger equal than t-table, means hypothesis 0 is rejected. So the conclusion from the data, we know that tone is 0.011 and t-table is 1.699. Because t-cone is less than t-table, then hypothesis 0 is accepted and hypothesis alternative is rejected. Thus, it can be concluded that the weight of the cane of 16 grams as stated by the supplier is not significantly different from the result of measurements using samples by the wholesaler. Furthermore, we know that the result of the SPSS is the same with the result of manual calculation.
The next chapter 4. Conclusion. Hypothesis testing is a process for evaluating the evaluation of evidence from a sample and providing a basis for making decisions regarding the population. The purpose of hypothesis testing is to decide whether the hypothesis being tested is rejected or accepted. From the data above, we know that the t-count is 0,11 and the t-table is 1699. Because t-count lebih kecil, t-table H0 is accepted and HA is rejected. Thus, it can be concluded that the weight of the can of 60 grams assisted state by the supplier is not significantly different from the result of measurements using sample by the publisher. Suggestion. We also hope that this paper is useful for readers in hypothesis testing. And then, with this paper, the author hopes to implement and apply the knowledge gained by readers from the author's work for readers in the field of education that will develop today and in the future. The author realizes that this is perfect and there are still some shortcomings in it. Therefore, critiques and suggestions from readers are needed so that authors can make better papers in the future. Okay, that's all about our explanation about analysis of hypothesis testing using SPSS program. And thank you very much for your attention.